I'm live. I just saw something very disturbing that got me to moving around. Good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon. I just saw something very disturbing that got me to moving around and provoked my topic that I'm gonna bring forward to you all today. And it has to do with I just posted something on my TikTok feed about a girl, I believe her name is Kiaria, who unalived herself. She's 22 years old. 22-year-old young woman. Seems as if she had some sort of a military experience. She joined the military, I guess, after high school. And the clip that I uploaded is a clip of her in her car, or in someone's car, and she's celebrating her 22nd birthday. And she is saying, congratulations to me, yay. Who would have thought I'd make it to be 22? And that in itself was alarming because I didn't know what I was looking at first. And then she went on to blow out her candle that she had on her personal cake, and she then picked up a bottle of Patron. I think it was a pint of Patron. And she takes it to the head, just completely opens the bottle, no juice, no ice, nothing. And she just gulps it down. And that tells me that she's been doing that for a long time. Because I'm a person, believe me, I've had a life, I've had a very full life. And, I can drink with the best of them. I'm not even going to sit here and act like I'm not the type of woman that goes out and has drinks. Now, I've never been the type of woman that would do something like that. But, anyone that has drank alcohol knows that when you are able to drink to that extent, you've been accustomed to drinking like that. Just pure tequila out the bottle like that. And that's the conversation I want to have with y'all today. If you get nothing from me and if you get nothing from my channel, you will get transparency. I'm not going to come in here and sugarcoat anything for you guys, because everything that I've gotten, I had to pay a high price for. I paid everything at full value. I didn't get any discounts. I didn't get any favors. I didn't get any, any corners cut for me. If anything, people have made it very difficult for me. I've had to go the extra mile. More than an extra mile. I've had to go an extra 5 or 10 miles. So I've earned everything. I've earned it. And everything is expensive this way. When I saw that young lady's video, y'all check out the video of the young lady in the car drinking the tequila, and she unalives herself 2 days later. She writes out these letters to her loved ones. It broke my heart. I sat and I wept on the sofa when I saw it. Because as much as we want to act like we could never relate, I know I can. I could relate. I need to put a thing up so that I don't get invited to these things. Real quick, y'all. I don't want to keep getting these co-host things. A lot of years this is I don't want to be notified. Now invitations from people you may know and suggest to create. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want no invitations. Turn off suggestions from, I don't know. Look, I don't know I'm just going to ignore them because I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, that brings me to my conversation today. This is a 22-year-old woman that has unalived herself. Any of you all out there, I don't know if you're 22 or if you're older, can you recall a time in your life when you were, this is the beginning of your path in life. 22 you're excited. You have now moved out, or you're still at home, but you're in between college, or you are in college, you're out of high school. You're embarking on the most exciting portion of your journey. The world is at your feet. You have endless possibilities before you. When I looked at this little girl, this young woman looked like somebody's baby. She looked like she could be my niece. And she's alone in her car on her birthday. drinking pure tequila out the bottle. And then she unalives herself. I don't know where to begin with my conversation with y'all today. But I wanna speak to what type of world are we creating? Everybody is so busy doing their own thing. Everybody is so busy accumulating all of this stuff. Believe me, I'm 51 years old. When I tell you I have been there and done it with the best of them, y'all, all of you young women out here competing for men, competing amongst one another to say I'm the most attractive out of the group. All of you women out here competing amongst one another to say, oh, I got this bag and I got this outfit and I got these shoes. All of that stuff, all of you men out here doing whatever you got to do to get a couple of dollars to attract women or to look strong and capable amongst the world. I'm here to tell you that you will get to a place in your life where you will realize that that does not hold any value. I promise you. You're going to get to a point in your life where you're going to figure out that all of that, surely it was fun and it was cool and it was something that you can say you did and you achieved and accomplished, but it didn't hold any value. It holds no significance spiritually for you. You will get to a place in your life where you will find that spiritual commodity is the most important commodity you can ever have. And it is the interactions that we have with one another that bless our lives. It is the things that we do in our life that we have written on our life resume that makes the world of difference in our tomorrow. I'm here to tell you that nothing goes unchecked in this life. If you get nothing from me, you gotta know this. This poor woman sitting in her car, drinking herself to oblivion. Why would someone, I know many people that probably don't drink or that maybe have one drink when they go out, could never understand that. I wasn't that type of girl. I was the type of girl that you go out, we going out. It's on. I'm going to dress the part. Even if I don't have enough money to pay for my drinks, I'm going to have enough hopefully to get me one drink. Or me and my best friend might have it for the first drink, and I'm going to be able to hustle me up another drink, but we going out and we're going to have a good time. It was I can't even remember a time that I actually went out premeditatively and had one drink. I just never did. I wasn't that type of girl. It wasn't that type of party with me. So I can understand how someone could find solace in drinking alcohol. Friend, I'm telling you, because of situations that I have found myself in my life, alcohol had become my best friend. No lies. Alcohol was the only way that I can find joy in the most troubling time of my life. It was the only way that I could sit and get some sort of joy and happiness in my situation. It was alcohol. Whether it was drinking a Heineken or drinking a bunch of margaritas or whatever was available, within reason. I mean, I didn't drink anything. Come on now, I wasn't that down that bad, but within reason, I would drink. But my situation that's my situation. I can understand how somebody else could go about doing it their way, like in the video of this young woman. It's on my page. Please check it out and come back here. It's only about 15-20 seconds long. She's trying to find some joy. She feels lonely. She's isolated at 22. And then when she finishes it, she drinks it and she takes it to the head, and she didn't finish the whole bottle, but she takes it to the head and she says, she puts up this little thing like, for the culture, like, look at me. She tries to make it seem cool because that's what the culture sells you. dying inside. And 2 days later, she unalives herself. What could this person, this young woman, somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, what could she have experienced in her life, in such a short life, to make her want to unalive her life, to take her up out of here? The fear of unaliving herself was not strong enough to override the fear of living another day. And that's the purpose of this channel, is to spread knowledge so that some of you, whoever you are, whatever path you are in life, can take something that I give you and use it to your betterment. Because friend, when I tell you, if you only knew how much you are loved, I wish I knew this little girl. I wish she saw my page and she messaged me with something. It breaks my heart. I can't even lie to you. I can't. That she would, to know someone is in the world that would do such a thing to themselves at such a tender age, y'all. 22. And when you read her letters that she wrote to her family, the things we do to one another in this life, we do because we're hurt. It's a lot of hurt people out here. And this is not to condemn the hurt people. This is to bring it to the forefront and say, look, there's healing in your hurt, friend. Whether you're hurt from your childhood, whether you're hurt from decisions you've made and that you got to stand in, whether you are afraid and you're standing at the crossroads and you don't want it to be you and you rather it be everybody else, but you've got to come to terms with it, because eventually it's going to be you. And it's going to be even worse for you because of all the things you do to prevent it from, all of your actions from ever catching up to you. Man, just all the many things that we do amongst one another. I'm not doing any co-hosts today. I'm so sorry. All the things that we do to one another in the name of money, in the name of being cool, in the name of being popular, undermine our happiness. They rob us of the things that mean the most. Whatever led this young woman to her unaliving herself had to do with her interactions with people. It had to do with her interactions with other people. She wasn't born with a thought to do that to herself. It is how she saw herself in this world that made her feel as if this was the only option for her. And that brings me to, what type of world are we living in that fosters such things? We want to support each other even in our wrongness. Whatever happened to independent thinking? Whatever happened to allowing the light that God has put within you to shine? I just uploaded a podcast on my, a video on my YouTube page, a podcast, and I spoke to dedication. I know many of us talk about being dedicated, or you're not dedicated, or you don't have a particular cadence in your life. You're not doing all the outward things that you need to get all the outward stuff. But I'm here to tell you that, friend, the outward stuff is nothing. Are you dedicated spiritually? When you build yourself up internally, externally, nothing can affect you. And I think this is what we all need to come back to. I know many of us love to go to the gym because we like the external look. But are you internally, spiritually solid? Are you just as strong spiritually as you are physically? And this is not any shade to anybody that works out. But I'm just reversing this ideology, because all of this outward stuff is why we're having all of these problems. Our children are unaliving themselves. You got people in the world looking to unalive themselves because of their interactions with other people that are not whole. Nobody is pulling from a holistic place. So when they come across the outward projections, they feel empty, they feel unworthy, because they don't have anything internally solid to sustain them. I'm here to tell you, when you build yourself up internally, spirit by spirit, spiritually, when you get to know the God within you, when you are fascinated and in search of aspects of the God within you, whether by searching yourself and not being afraid to do so, or whether looking for emanations of this aspect in life, in all of your interactions, in all of your walks, it will show itself to you because it wants to know you. It wants to express itself. It's constantly showing itself. Just like when Alice Walker spoke in The Color Purple, she said, I think it makes God angry when you walk past the color purple and you don't acknowledge it. These are expressions of God's majesty all around you. Yet if you are only fascinated by the creations of man, acquiring a pair of shoes, getting that car, getting that watch, getting that job, you will bypass all of the fascinating things that actually matter to you. The things that you should focus on, whether they be in the form of nature, whether they be in the form of the elemental aspects surrounding you, whether they be in the form of your interactions in a soulful way, in a honest and a heartfelt way with one another. Just asking someone, how you doing? And meaning it. And they will be able to feel that. And they will come forth with some honest answer. These are heartfelt things, not projection things like, yeah, I'm better than you. Yeah, how are you? You know, that type of stuff, but in a heartfelt way. When you can connect with people from the heart, you see various aspects of God flower out in that person, and you will see those aspects flower out within yourself. You will build a stasis and commonality with people. People will feel safe with you. It will increase your superpower in your connectivity to all of God's stuff. God will begin to show you itself in everything you see, feel, and touch or hear. And this is what we need to get back to, y'all. We've got to get back to the fundamentals of focusing on things that matter. I'm not here to tell you not to take advantage of materialistic items. We all love the luxuries of life. God never created us to be creators and then to live in a world of lack. That's not our creation. But there is a system. There is levels to this thing. You must know what is worthy of certain levels of attention. What should be honored and what should be liked. You've got to know the difference between them. And it seems as if many of us are walking around here honoring things that will never serve us. And because we honor the things that never serve us, we suffer. We are empty. We're paper tigers. We look a certain way. We got the muscles and all of this stuff, but we do underhanded things that undermine the power of God moving in our lives. We speak all the right words and say all the right slogans. We know all the right scriptures. But we don't allow the power to fully manifest itself in our life. We are not testaments to the full flow of that power. We are not contenders in spirit. Those that stand in the gap, those that stand and allow the Spirit of God to flow within their lives, they feed this to others. All that come around them feed off of this. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Friend, it broke my heart to see this young woman today. And I might be, last minute with this because it was not my intention to come forward with this, but I'm just coming forward off the rip. Everybody wants to live a particular way, and there's nothing wrong with it. But is it in alignment with the integral aspects of God? Because that's how God is moving in this system today. God is showing people in a real way that there's nothing wrong with going about life and looking to live a particular way. This is your creation. You are a creator, friend. Everything about you is a creator or a creatress. You have a computer, a supercomputer. Friend, if you knew how powerful your mind was, if you knew, many people say, I don't ever see you praying. I don't see you sitting down, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy. I don't see you doing that. And it lets me know off the top how those people view prayer. See, when you go in and out of things with God enough, your prayer changes. Your prayer is a meditation. You don't have to do all of it's no set way that you pray. No one would be able to trace what about you is a prayer. It's not ritualistic. It's not like, okay, I get up and go to church on Sunday and I put on my dress before I go and I do this and that and I get in the car and I go to church and I sit there and I get up and I stand and I allow the preacher to read the scripture and then I sit down and it's not that. Friend, you can have such a close relationship with God that it is adaptive to you and God. It is not about the way that the world does things. You can come in and out of so many things with your relationship with God that you and the Father are one. You will become one with your Creator. It is nothing outside of yourself. It is all an internal systematic thing that terminates in real time based upon you and your decisions. It's not a secondary thing like, okay, let me take some time away to go pray. My prayer is my constant action. My prayer is constant with my activity. My activity is my prayer. The fruit of my activity is my offering. It's not like I have to go and I have to put my offering together. Okay. Oh, here's my offering. Let me go to the grocery store and get my offering. Let me go do that. Okay, I got my offering. Here's my offering. No, I am the constant prayer. I am the candle. I am the flame. And anything outside of me is an extension of that, period. I don't mean to scream. I'm so sorry, y'all. I get passionate about things and it comes across like I'm screaming. I'm working on it. I am the constant prayer. I've aligned my life, and I'm not just speaking to me. I'm just saying in general. I've aligned my life in a way where my prayer is constant in my walk. This is dedication. This is what I talk about when we say, oh, yeah, you got to get dedicated. You got to be dedicated. Well, the person that, you're viewing that's not showing outward consistency in whatever vertical that you think that they should show it in might just be more dedicated than you. Internally, they're just dedicated to the proper things. Their dedication is staying in alignment and constantly being an avatar of God, sending forth a signal constantly through their thoughts, through the things that they receive, being able to handle the negative thoughts and the positives and siphoning them out in real time. Battling in real time within themselves to stay balanced. And this is what that girl needed. She didn't have the tools to handle what she was dealing with. She's 22 years old. How could she know? Friend, when I was 22, I was a whole mess. Whole mess. It was me. Manipulation City. You didn't want to see me coming. If it wasn't about me, I gotta go. That's the worst thing you could tell me is no. No? Okay, well, gotta go. Regardless of how beneficial it could have been spiritually to me, I could care less about that. Had it not occurred to me, had God not slowed me down, had God not loved me enough to set me down somewhere so I can see the truth before me, so I can value all the things and the people that God was sending me. And this is what tugged at my heart when I saw this young woman today drinking in the car and looking to she unalived her own self, friend, at 22. That's somebody's baby, y'all. That is somebody's daughter. In pain, alone in a car. There was nothing to sustain her. That is the only reason she did that. And no one can convince me otherwise. She had nothing she felt worth living for. She didn't know her connection with her father, her spiritual father. So she's blowing. And this is my word for y'all today. I don't want to keep rambling on, but I ask that we look inward just as much as we look outward. We need to focus even more so inward now to make up for the differences of time that we've had in focusing all of our attention outward. We need to be vehemently looking inward because all of the treasure is internal. Internally is from whence all the gifts of life flow. It is from within. When you find yourself in these situations, it is the internal alignment that distinguishes the outcome. Friend, when the winds pick up and the storms begin to blow in your life, the devil, Satan, none of them will prevail if your internal system is solid. If you have been dedicated during the good times and you allow that dedication to remain throughout your life constantly, surely there are times you'll get off and you'll fall off the bandwagon, you get back on and okay, great. This is dedication, friend. That's how you stay dedicated. You notice that you have fallen out of alignment and you do the work to consciously realign. You fight the good fight within yourself. You fight it within yourself to say, I got to get back to this. Okay, I spent some time in the wilderness. Let me get back to this. This is the whole story of these children. These children have walked through hell and high water, constantly falling out of alignment with their God, constantly being punished, constantly being ridiculed and humiliated, constantly finding praise and reassurance from their God. And they go back and forth within these two valleys. This is the ongoing walk. Never in this book have we seen these children not have this battle. It's been this and this. This is the walk in this life. And the only way we begin to really find some stability in this is when we premeditatively show as much dedication to our inward strength as we do to showing dedication to the outward demands of the world. Many of you will be dedicated to getting to that job every day. I'm telling you, I worked for the phone company for several years. And the only way, most often, the only way you would lose your job is if you weren't on time. And the fact that I was being paid so well at such a young age, and I liked the job at that time, I didn't want to lose it to something as simple as not being able to clock in at a specific time. So I made it my business to get there on time. And it taught me timeliness. It's the same way with God. You will come in and out of a multitude of things in your life, friend. You're going to go, when you're young, you're going to go and do all the young girl and young boy stuff. And then you're going to get to a place of knowledge. And you're going to say, okay, I realize what I should and shouldn't do. I'm going to stay dedicated to this thing that I keep running back to. You know that thing. That prayer time you have when things start going left for you and you say, God, I really need your help on this one. I need you to stay close to me. I don't want to lose my job, or I don't want to lose this, or I don't want that. And you go to church every Sunday. You dedicate yourself. I'm going to church Sunday. Everybody be like, oh, you coming to the barbecue? I'm having a barbecue Sunday. Yeah, I'll go. But I'll go after church. You make it your business to get to church on Sunday because you think that that's your reassurance, right? Because that's what we do. Or you say, I'm going to Bible study every Wednesday because I really need a word from God. And we go to Bible study every Wednesday so we can learn. And because we know that there's power in this book, right? That's what you're saying to yourself without you saying it, that there's power within the words of this book that can cause change, positive change in your life. That's exactly what you're saying. And you've seen it happen in your life, so you do it. Because if you didn't see it, a positive response from it, you wouldn't believe in it. This is a results-oriented book. So you go to Bible study. And then, boy, you get that blessing, don't you? And you keep going for a couple of more times. And then, before you know it, you stop going to Bible study and church. You stop. For me, I wasn't even going to church. I would just read my Bible. I would be engrossed into the pages of my Bible, friend. I'm telling you, I done read this book. I can't even tell you how many times I done read the pages of this book. And I would be dedicated to it. And I would find solace in it. And I would love it. But then when all the cool people came back around and I had money and I was able to go to Nordstrom's and buy me a new dress, or go here and there and get me some shoes, and then I'm going to lunch, and then I got dates, and I got all this kind of worldly stuff, I start to fall off. Until stuff happens, stuff starts going crazy again, and I am back. And then finally I got to a place where I said, why do I keep leaving the source of my happiness? Why do I keep abandoning the thing that is sustaining me for the thing that constantly needs me to have the thing that sustains me? Because if I don't have the blessings of God, all these other things these people won't invite me. These people won't think I'm cool to be in their circle. It is the blessings of God that allow me to shine bright. It is God that is the source of all of my blessings in my life. Yet, when the blessings come, I began to get lost in the blessings and leave the source. Until I got to a point where I said no more. Or God said no more. Let's just say that. God said no more. And God said, I'm going to send you on a journey where you're going to know me. You're going to know me. And you're going to realize why it's important to pay attention to this right here. And leave that secondary. And I got so accustomed to paying attention to that God would lead me on a journey to having every bit of all of that material stuff taken away. Friend, I slept on the floor with a baby. Do you hear me? I had my baby at Southern Regional Medical Hospital in Riverdale, Georgia. And I didn't want to leave. I stayed the full term that a woman can stay in the hospital. I think I stayed 3 or 4 days. I did not want to leave. I know what it's like to be from to hit the bottom. Oh, I know all about it. Believe me. But I also know what it's like for God to show me, first person, what it looks like to have things and for people to be always in agreement with you and always be at your beck and call when you want to hang out, and people always say positive things to you. And then God to show me what it's like to be at the bottom, to be in places or situations that I would have judged another woman had she been in. I would have looked down on another woman had she been in my situation. I had been the woman to look down on other women in those situations, not knowing how easy it is to befall them, yet how hard it is to come up out of them, especially with children. So it put a new spin on me. I recognized what was important. And I don't want to make this about me. I don't know why I'm testifying today. I don't know. But I saw this video of this young woman, y'all, 22 years old, sitting in a car, drinking a bottle of tequila straight, like it was Aquafina, like it was water. Just gulp, 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 gulp. And then 2 days later, she unalives herself. Like I said, the video is on my page. And it provoked me to come forward and be very transparent with you. You are not alone. You are not alone. Your life matters. I don't care what you have done in your life, friend. Nothing is unredeemable if you approach it properly. You have to approach that thing as if you are looking at you and nobody else can see. It's you and you. Whether you go in your bathroom in your mirror and you tell yourself, I'm sorry, and how much you love you, and let the words that are on your heart flow from there. These are simple ways you begin to heal yourself. And then whatever spiritual path you honor, I'm not here to judge you. Open scripture of that path and begin to read it. And dedicate yourself to ingesting it in fascination, as if it's an ancient text written by an ancient family member that you're reading on and you want to know about your bloodline and your lineage. Embrace it like that. When you go before God in prayer, you're not a beggar. You're not talking to a stranger. You're talking to the person that has been with you since you were born in this life. God is within you. God is the conscience that is on your heart. It is the God aspect that is in you. That this is what dictates all that you do in life. This has been the protective armor that has seen you through. You are not alone. Never for a second. I don't care where you are. You have the power of God with you at all times. And how do you activate it? You activate it by acknowledging that it's there. To yourself, to nobody else. There's no magic tree, there's no magic leaf, there's no magic plant, there's no magic animal. Nobody. It's you and you. When you go into the kingdom of your mind is the kingdom. When you close your eyes, that's your kingdom. You look in your kingdom and you speak power, you speak truth, even if it's in weakness and you're speaking all of your heavy emotions that are weighing you down. Release them. Release them. And ask the one that loves you more than anything on this planet to help you. Follow it up with reinforcement through scripture. I'm here to tell you what I know. I'm here to tell you what I know. Follow it up with reinforcement in scripture. Get mesmerized by that. And I'm here to tell you, it will show itself to you. It will show itself to you in your darkest of hours in a mighty way. Start paying attention to yourself. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to those instances where you're like, I heard that thought before. Pay attention to the sounds and the voices of your mind, because this is how God speaks. They come like ideas. They come like, they just lay on you. They comfort you. God is a comforter. He is a reassurer. They come like comforting words in the darkness to lead you out. And they are there for you to get to know, because there will come a time in your life where you will need to know them. You will need to know that voice. It's highly important. It seems unorganized and chaotic in the beginning. But the more you listen, the more you are able to sit in silence, the more you will be able to distinguish between it, because it has been with you your whole life. I'm here to tell you. Friend, that young lady provoked me today to come forward with this. I don't have no method in this operation, but I'm just speaking my truth to you, because I promise you, I wish I had known of her struggle. I wish I would have known. It broke my heart. I sat on my sofa and I wept. You are not alone. I have felt very alone in my life. But it has been it has been okay. It has been the grace of God. It has been in God's angels to come and surround me that have kept me. They have made the world of difference in my life. And it is my job and duty to pass on just elements of what I have been able to use. Y'all, if you knew my story, and I don't know how to ever tell you my story. So what I give you is my testimonies. I give you my testimonies, and they are very basic. Be mindful of your path. Care about what you do in this life. God told Abram, he said, allow me to name you blameless. That's all he told Abram. He said, don't let me be able to blame you for nothing. Nothing. Keep my commandments and don't allow me to blame you. That is powerful. That tells me where God is. That tells me that God is within you. That conscience that we have within ourselves, when we condemn ourselves, when we do things and we know we should not do them. Thank you, Regina. When we know we should not do them, that is God speaking to us. That is God aspect within us speaking to us, saying, you should not do this. This is going to cost you later. That is what your conscience is telling you. Yet we do these things so much that we lose the feeling that comes from God in telling us not to do them. God no longer will come and tell you not to do them. God expects you to do them because you've done them so much that there must be a response from them. Do you understand? God tells Abram, let me hold you blameless. Always allow me to hold you blameless. And if you do, you will be fine. Just as God told Jacob, he said, I know what you did with your brother Esau. You betrayed your brother Esau. You took his crown. You and your mother did it. And regardless to what your intentions were in doing it, you did something wrong to took his crown. You and your mother did it. And regardless to what your intentions were in doing it, you did something wrong to you blameless. And in this, God gives us another example as how we can get back to being held blameless, how we can recover from being blamed and going back to being blameless. In Jacob betraying Esau, Jacob would be led to his uncle, Laban. Now, Laban was a sorcerer. Please look at my past podcast. Laban was a powerful sorcerer. He was cursing the children of Israel. He was cursing Jacob. He was binding Jacob to him by way of witchcraft, by sorcery. And Jacob would have to sit under Laban for 20 years and suffer at the hands of Laban. All of Laban's witchcraft, all of Laban's manipulations and malicious behavior. And he would have to make Laban very wealthy at the hand of his talent. But during that season, Jacob would become very wise at his craft. He would be a master. He would be useful during his time of paying back his karma, basically, because that's what Jacob would be doing with Laban. This is the system in which God uses to cleanse you of your sins at times. See, with God, you got to take some to get some with God. God said, you betrayed Esau. You're going to go sit up under Laban for 20 years and you're going to I'm going to allow Laban to betray you. So that debt that you owed Esau, you're going to be paid back by what Laban is going to do unto you. And now you will move away from Laban after a certain season and you will be debt free. Even Stephen. So there is no thing that you do in life that can't be overcome. You've just got to pay the price for it. So, these are the things that I want to tell you, especially when I look at the young woman. Like I said, please look at my page of the young girl that 22 years old unalived herself. It broke my heart, y'all. I got a baby. It broke my heart. Because obviously she had nobody in her life that she could speak truth to. I tell my daughter all the time, I don't care what you tell me. Honestly, I'm not about to sit up here and lie to y'all, especially not to y'all. I don't know any of you people. I don't care what she tells me. She was raised a certain way. She knows right and wrong. I was a young girl myself. So I just need you to go out into the world and represent all of the fundamentals that I gave you. Carry yourself in a certain way. But if you find yourself lost in the wilderness ever, you know you can call me and tell me you're lost. And God knows your mother has had enough experiences in life. I can guide you back. But I got to know you're lost. And that's my word for many of you. If you are lost, if you feel like you're doubtful or if you're questionable as it relates to your walk with God, shoot me a message. But even if you don't do that, I'm gonna give you a nugget of information that you can use on your own. Crack open your Bible. It's nothing more fly. The prettiest girls are spiritual girls. I'm here to tell you. Fellas, the bombest, the most necessary, the biggest investment you can make in your life is aligning to the right kind of woman. And the best type of woman is a woman that is grounded in her knowing of God, that has a fascination for God, a woman that honors her relationship with God and lives in that relationship. It does not make them boring. Some of my most beautiful friends that have beautiful families and are super fun are the most spiritually grounded people. So there's no boring with that. It's just that there is a way that you live life. Because anything outside of that brings hell. It brings chaos. It'll lead you to nothing but problems. And you'll come to a point in your life where you will realize it. Yet you would have wasted a lot of time in the wilderness. I'm just trying to save y'all some time. And I'm trying to speak life to the babies, because I don't ever want to see on my timeline again like I saw today. Child, when I tell you I sat on my sofa and I cried like a baby. I had an ugly cry. I'm not even kidding you. When I saw that little girl in that car, that little girl looked like she could have been my niece. And then 2 days later to unalive herself like that. She allowed life to get that bad for her that she felt at 22 that she could not go on. You are loved more than you'll ever know. I'm here to tell you. There is nothing, no one in this world that loves you more than God. And God is within you. Period. God is right smack dab, walking, talking within you. God is that voice that says, when your friends say that, oh, you're not all that, or you think you're all this and you think you're all that, God is the one that says, yeah, you are all that. That's God. God is the one that's saying, try out for this, try out for that. Look into this, look into that. God is telling you these things because God sees the full trajectory of your life. God sees that those fascinations that you have, those things that you really like, will be your calling. Friend, I'm here to tell you, nobody would ever believe that I would be on social media doing Bible studies. I'm so serious. I wasn't the person that would be on social media doing Bible studies. But I am. And there's nothing better that I'd rather do. Yet all throughout my life, I've been interested in this. I've always read my Bible. I didn't go to tell everybody, yeah, I read my Bible today. I didn't go to church all the time. I don't go to church all the time now. But I read my Bible. I ingest the word of God. Going to church and being a child of God are two separate things. They don't have to go together. I know many spiritually powerful people that stand in alignment with God that do not go to church. It's honoring your calling, friend. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be spirituality. It could be whatever it is. Because what will happen is you will get to a place in life when you get older. I'm 51. I'll be 52 in November. When you get older, all throughout your walk, if you've paid attention to the thing that you really love, that thing that inspires you, the thing you can sit up and research about all day and all night and it wouldn't bother you at all, even if you didn't get paid, you would just do it. That thing that you can talk, when you talk to other people about, you light up and you know a lot about. Well, if you continue to pay attention to that, by the time you get to like my age, you will be an expert. You will know something about that thing that will be different from anybody else. All because of your experiences. Yes, and your dedication. Okay, so I've been on here sniffling, and I don't like to sniffle, and I don't want to blow my nose on this camera because I done been on here crying today, y'all. But I couldn't help it. You're loved more than you'll ever know. And that's a fact. I'll never stop telling you. That's a fact. And last thing I want to say, because I see there's a lot of women on my live, I want to say this to y'all. Your body is your kingdom. You as a woman are so powerful. I'm here to tell you. The expression that God has created you to be is the only expression of its kind in this realm. When you look at the fallen ones, the angels that were here to protect this realm, I'm going to give you just a condensed version of it because I know I don't want to be long-winded. In the beginning, God had angels here in the first heaven. The heaven are broken up into 7 hierarchies. Well, there was a first heaven that all of the prayers that the people on the planet would send up, and those in the first heaven would receive them. And then they would distinguish, okay, what prayers can we handle? And then what prayers do we need to send up to the other heavens? They would disperse the prayers from that particular station. Well, those angels, rumor has it, the way the spiritual scriptures convey is that those angels became smitten with the daughters of men, the women on the planet. And what they would do is they would say, okay, Lisa's prayers, I'm going to take because I like Lisa. All Lisa's prayers, I'm going to try to get done for her. And then Lisa will become super popular in the world and everybody wants to be Lisa's friend because she has a relationship with an angel and she can get your prayers heard. This is how all of this stuff going to a person to get your prayer heard came from. This is, in spiritual systems, this is how they do it. Go to this woman, she'll get your prayer heard. Somewhat like the witch of Endor that Saul went to. Well, the angels became smitten with the women, and they became so smitten that they decided that they didn't want to be angels in the heaven anymore. They wanted to come down here and live amongst the women. Right? And so they come down and they began mating with these women and they began having children. And the children are what they consider the giants in the world. So now what has happened is initially it was Adam and Eve, and Adam's seed was the only seed on the planet. But because the fallen ones have now commingled with Adam's mate, Eve, they have created a bloodline. So Adam has competition in the world. There's now another individual. Where it was only exclusively Adam, now it's another individual that Adam is kind of warring with. His seed is warring with. But there is no other Eve, y'all. There's no other Eve. The woman has no competition. She is the mother. There's only one mother. And this is what makes you so important. Your body is so important because you are the only vessel here that life can flow through. There is no other vessel. There wasn't like, Adam went and got another woman from another realm and now she's here competing with Eve. There's no competition for Eve, but there's competition for Adam. So you must know that either way, whether Adam competes for Eve or the fallen compete for Eve, they all must flow through Eve. And in that regard, being the only vessel that life flows through in this world, it is very important that you regard yourself as such. It goes back to feeling, not doing things that don't feel good, that take away from you, that make you feel like, you know what I mean? Versus standing in things that make you feel whole. And I know it's very difficult because we're dealing with a lot of broken people. Men are broken too. Women are broken. Men are broken. So, you might come from a dynamic whereas your family background requires you to have a particular type of mate. or a particular type of man, or look for certain types of characteristics in men that just might not be abundant. I was talking to my niece a couple of months ago. We were talking about something like this, and she was saying, you know, I was telling her, don't go so much for the money. Because I'm telling you, I've been there and done that. I used to always, I only wanted to date a guy that had some money. If you ain't got no money, I don't want to date you. You know, I was that type of person. And even though I had my own money, I you know, it was just like that. And what I can see now, looking back, you know, I got to a place where I was like, you know, it's really not really about that. I mean, it is. You want someone that takes care of himself, obviously. If you can take care of yourself, you want him to take care of himself. But really look for someone that really loves you. That really, really, really loves you. You know that guy that really likes you, that you be like, this is such and such again. You know what I mean? That guy that if he ever tells you he's going to do something, he's always going to do it. Go for that guy. Because that's what's going to matter. You don't want to go for the guy that's hard to get, because he's going to stay hard to get, friend. It's not like he's going to get to a threshold where he gets to, you know, he finally says, oh yeah, I'm going to stop being hard to get today. I'm going to now just be cool. No, he's going to be hard to get all along. It's always going to be about him. Find somebody that favors you. I was telling my niece that, and she said, well, you know, Auntie, it's, what did she say? She didn't say it was hard to find a guy that is into her, but she was saying that she's enjoying her life at this space in her life. She's enjoying her life, and that she's not making it so much about, you know, finding a guy, because a lot in her experience, she's just not coming across those types of men. And she's a pretty successful person and a very good looking woman. So, you know, I can imagine how difficult it is out here. But don't lower your standards. Always know your value. Always know your value. And if it doesn't feel right to you, you got to be able to say, this doesn't feel right to me, and honor how it makes you feel. Let me blow my nose. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Yeah, so honor how it makes you feel, and just follow your heart, because it's going to be a trial and error regardless. It's going to be a trial and error. But the best way you can navigate it is honoring yourself, and by following your heart and letting your heart navigate you. I hope I've been helpful to y'all, and I hope I'm just not on here rambling. I'm just trying to be useful, because I can hear my baby right now. If I was talking to her, she'd be yarning or something, you know. So